Actually, I don't really like it, but I can't take it off now. So I'm going to park down here. Probably should have done this end first before I made that so small. I want to just make a few yeah, I definitely should have done this first. Just a couple of grooves so that if you're using the thimble to push a needle, the end of the needle will locate into a groove rather than slipping across the whole face. Basically to serve the same function as the dimples in a real thimble, or a steel thimble. Okay, so now I'll sand it. So I'll just finish parting that off. Okay, so the main lines of grain seem to line up not too bad. So if I wanted to get finish on that last 1/4 of an inch of the center of there, I can turn a 3/8 tenon on here and slip this hole over it while I there, that should be good. So I'll just touch that with some sandpaper and then put some friction polish on it. Guess I want the lathe slowed down a bit. And there it is. Here I've mounted a piece of hard maple and roughed it down to round. Okay, before I take that all the way down to the final diameter, I'm going to drill a hole for the needle storage compartment. So I've set up my Jacob's chuck in the tail center with a 1/8 inch diameter twist drill. And I've got about 2 1/8 inches of bit extending out of the chuck. So I want to go in pretty much until the chuck jaws are touching the end. Problem with trying to drill holes this small into end grain is the bits, they tend to want to follow the grain though, rather than stay on center. I tried about 3 in a row using my 1/8 inch brad point bit, and all of them, the holes drifted off center far enough so that when I was turning the small diameters of the spool, I ran into the hole from the side. I then then I used my twist drill bit, and it didn't seem to wander as bad. Now whether that's, maybe it's entirely possible that my 1/8 inch brad point has started to get a little bit dull on one side, so it's wanting to drift just because one side's cutting better than the other. Regardless, I'm using this one because I know it worked the last time. And that should be deep enough. And that's about 2 1/16 inches deep, which is fine. And the bottom of the hole is there. So as long as I make sure the other end of the spool is past that mark, I should be fine. And since I want the spool to be about 3 inches long, that shouldn't be a problem. And I'll just use my cone center in that hole to keep everything running concentric. And I don't want to put much pressure against it because I'm going to be reducing this diameter quite a bit. And if I put too much pressure against it, it will split. So, this spool has to fit inside a 3/8 inch hole. Which means it needs to be a little smaller than 3/8 of an inch in diameter. So I'm going to reduce the whole piece to 3/8 of an inch and then take a little more off on top of that.